So, hello. For the first ones who have arrived, let's wait a few minutes until more people will find their way into the portal. So still pretty quiet. Maybe it's the timing is a bit off on the Americas here, or we have been beaten by the alternative options for the presentations. I see, Ivan, you're the only one so far joining. There is a chat function on this, so maybe we let you also place your questions and maybe fine tune a little bit the presentation for you once we understand your background a little bit better. So we don't need to. If you're the only one, I'm more than happy to do a little presentation for you as well. But it would be great to understand a little bit where you're from and what's your background, so that we wouldn't do a standard presentation if you're particularly interested in something else. Perfect, I see your chat. So let's wait a couple of more minutes, and then Ivan, you're gonna get a customized presentation from us. Do you mind me asking where you're from? Ah, Mexico. Okay, very good. And from an OEM or a tier one customer, other or ABB? Didn't. Ah, okay.
Okay, so maybe we'll just get started, Haya.
Yeah, we can do. Ivan, just write us if you particularly. Okay, but you are at an OEM then producing or tier one side. So sorry, Mike, I'm checking on Ivan to understand what is his background and to understand a little bit how to customize a little bit. 22 years is a long time though, so you probably know very well the ABB side. Anyhow, on our introduction, my name is Aija Mankkinen and I'm the Global Service Manager for Automotive Tier 1 in the ABB robotics world, and I'm joined today with Mike Bauhaus, who is the Global Service Manager for the OEM group. And we would actually on our agenda have today a couple of topics. It's looking at our digital services and how these data-driven services like condition-based maintenance and connected services, as well as Robot Studio, can help you improve the performance and extend the lifetime of the equipment. So I assume actually that with your long history, you know very well already the robotics customer service. Since 22 years you have been working with them, and we have been producing robots since 74, have delivered more or less almost 500,000 now. This slide is a little bit old, so I assume that by now we are more closer to 500,000 robots, and our installed base is around 300,000 by now. 1,600 service professionals are serving the world in more than 50 countries, Mexico, of course, being one of the bigger ones. We do offer the 24/7 global support, so practically anywhere we can offer global support 24/7, off-site or on-site response rates. So how quickly a service engineer can be on site is in most cases 24 hours or shorter. In very few places we couldn't guarantee a 24 hours on-site response. We can provide you with standardized or customized service agreements, anything that would fit your needs. It's just a question of discussion. Nowadays we have a modular setup, so you can exactly get what is needed for your site. And naturally the target is to increase uptime, reduce cost, and solve any issues which come the fastest possible way. And more interesting for our customers is this lifetime extension of our equipment, which would of course improve the return on investment and postpone the new capex, besides sustainability concerns. But let's get started. Mike will take over now and go through the key service offering over the life cycle. Go ahead, Mike. I can move that.
Yes, thank you very much, Aya. So what I'd like to do today is take you through what ABB Robotics Customer Service can do for you to support your system during the lifetime of your equipment and guarantee the best return on your investment. So basically, if we go through the whole cycle, I mean, first of all, you start with planning of a project. So you're clearly thinking about automating your production. With our solution, you can simulate the whole automation in your environment thanks to the features of Robot Studio. You can do that with augmented reality. So we'll touch on that in a little bit later in the presentation. So then I guess it gets to the planning. You're looking into acquiring a robot. So you can either choose to buy a new robot, or you can decide to go for a refurbished one. In any case, it's time to also think about the service you would like to have for your equipment, or consider connecting them all to the cloud. That kind of brings us to the startup phase. So you're ready to automate, and for that we offer installation, commissioning services, simulations, and training to get the best out of your new equipment. So once the installation has been installed, we arrive in the production phase. So your production equipment is up and running. It's time to protect yourself against unexpected service costs. This can be done through our connected services, for instance. It's also something we'll touch on a little bit later on in this presentation. But also, I mean, we can help you to keep your staff trained. We're also able to support you with any issues. You have our skilled on-site engineering service. I just touched on it already, but also via our technical support over the phone. If you, after a couple of years, would like to understand the condition of your robots, we offer a very comprehensive condition-based maintenance assessment, which I'll touch on a little bit later in the presentation. So your production has been running for a while, and now it's probably time to have a look at the improvement phase. So it's time to look at the modernization and upgrades, for instance. Our flexible service offering comprises of the upgrade offering from single component to complete production cells. You're ready to gain productivity and get a second life for your equipment, for instance. We'll also help you to get reduce your risk with regards to obsolescence, for instance. Also have better return on investment with our new technologies. So I think this is very important when we get to this phase of the production. Now, after that, I mean, we get into the lifetime extension phase. We're there for you to support in deciding what needs to be replaced, and so you get the most out of your existing equipment. Also, during this phase, our condition-based maintenance offering can help you decide which robots you would like to keep, replace, refurbish, and obviously, I mean, the good ones you can still put to use. Obviously, we're also able to support you with replacing your robot when you deem necessary. So in the next section, I'll touch a little bit on the condition-based maintenance and the ABB Ability Connected Services, as I just discussed in the previous slide. So let's start with the condition-based maintenance. So what is it? It basically is an analysis of the motion cycle data, so to detect the stress levels of your robot. So what we do is we provide you with a clear picture of the status of your robot. So what it does, it basically helps to assess which robots have most stress and require attention. And this will help to avoid costly unplanned downtime and extend the lifetime of your equipment. So also what it does is will help you to plan your maintenance plan according to what we found from a stress level perspective, but you can also make it fit into your budget planning. So what it will do is it's kind of a two-level approach. So the first one is kind of to give you a high-level overview, and I'll show you an example of a report like that in the upcoming slides. And when you know which ones are the worst ones in your fleet, you then can kind of focus on them and kind of see what preventive maintenance actions you should take on them. So as just described, here's an example of the level 1 assessment. So as you can see on top, the ones in red are the robots with the highest duty factor. So that means that those have the most cycle data and the most stress. At the bottom, you see the green ones, and those are in a much better shape. So they have the lowest duty factor. At this stage, you can decide if you want to conduct a level 2 analysis on a number of these robots, which are in the highest duty factor range, for instance. And a report like that would look as follows. Yeah, there you go. So the level 2 analysis will go in more depth to analyze your most stressed robots, giving you more detailed information on excuse me, on which part of the robot to focus on. What it also does is it will also give you an individual maintenance recommendation. So this will help you to include this in your budget and upcoming maintenance cycle. And again, I mean, it will help to reduce the risk of unplanned downtime when the robot would fail unexpectedly. So we have a pretty good uptick from our customers on this offering. I mean, they like it a lot, and we have a couple of success stories for you on this service. The first one I'd like to mention is one with a car manufacturer in Europe. They have about 400 robots, and the customer problem was that they wanted to extend the lifetime and improve the production output. So what we did is we ran a CBM report for the 400 robots on a level 1. And after that, we've decided to run the level 2 analysis on 180 of them. So as a result, we had a maintenance recommendation to prolong the lifetime. And basically, like I touched on before, I mean, this prevented the unplanned downtime due to the mechanical failure of the robot. And it also enabled the customer to adapt the cost in their preventive maintenance activities based on real working conditions. So you really have a good base to kind of plan your maintenance on. So our second example is also from a car manufacturer in Europe. They have even more robots, over 1,000. They were interested in reusing robots in their line for a second life. So what we did is we did a level 1 analysis on the 1,000 robots. And based on the outcome, we performed a 200 or a level 2 analysis on 200 of them. So as a result, I mean, we found that it was best to replace 50 robots with new, and we actually remanufactured 100 of them. So this kind of resulted in the customer benefits of they were able to maximize their return on investment by optimizing the maintenance, replacement, and remanufacturing cost. And again, I mean, the reduction of downtime risk by focusing on actions on the most stressed robots. So that's kind of the condition-based maintenance offering in a nutshell. So I really wanted to shift gears now and move to the is it moving? Yeah, there you go. So I wanted to move to the connected services. So connected services. Basically, connected service is a digital toolbox which comprises of 5 different services to increase the availability and performance of your robot system while reducing your costs. So it basically has to you benefit from it in 2 ways. Firstly, I think it's a very important support tool in our service agreement packages, because it really enables us to provide the best and most efficient services for you. These services comprise of 24/7 technical support, for instance, a quick on-site response where we already can fill the field service technician in with what issues you're facing, so they come well prepared. We also offer the condition monitoring and diagnostics as part of the connected services, and that kind of ensures a quick and effective diagnosis of what's going on. We also offer backup management, remote access, the fleet assessment as we just described, kind of also enabling the preventive maintenance, and obviously extended warranty is also an option. So the second part of the benefits is really by using the generated information, you can run reports and analytics within your team, so will help you to improve and strengthen your self-help capabilities, basically. So if you're a self-maintainer, I mean, this really helps your teams to understand what to focus on and really give them inside information of the state of your equipment. As you can see on the top, I mean, we've learned over the years that it really leads to about 25% fewer incidents and 60% faster response time and issue resolution. So we kind of get there by 3 main areas. So what we do is we look into the machine stoppages and the issues. So we're providing fast notification and a root cause analytics in critical situation or during a production stop. So you will know what's going on and why your machine is stopped. So this basically leads into avoiding the unplanned production stops and improve resource planning. So you can identify a potential problem or issue in advance by monitoring and trending the most vital parameters of the controller and the mechanics. And we have the first apps in development to kind of broaden that scope. You can also use it for performance management. So you can improve the performance and the configuration of your system. This would lead to increased output and extended lifetime of your robot equipment. So basically, with the ABB Ability Connected Services, we can reduce the number of incidents, speed up issue resolution, and improve the performance of your system. So also here we have a success story from a customer in Mexico, actually, so a tier 1 customer. So what we've done is we've utilized our condition-based monitoring and diagnostics together with our asset optimization service, and we really assessed the situation of 15 robots to give a recommendation to the customer. They were suffering from a lot of downtime due to micro stops, which requires the robot to restart every time, and I mean that's obviously hindering the production. So after analysis, what we realized is a 66% reduction in these micro stoppages, And we mainly did that by analyzing a number of areas. A couple of the most important one were, for instance, the motor revision, joint collision, lost communication with the I/O device, but also missing scheduled backups. So in this kind of us resolving this led to more than 2 hours of additional productivity time, or productive time, I should say, per robot per month. So this shows you that that it really can save you cost in maintenance, but even more in production. So I think that's probably even more important. So on that note, I mean, I will take you through a little bit more about Robot Studio and remanufacturing and how that ties into the condition-based maintenance. So Aya, over to you.
Thank you, Mike. Indeed, moving on from maintenance-related topics and connected services, I will go through some of the topics which are helpful in the lifetime extension of your robots. I will first start with the Robot Studio and how it can support the replacement or upgrade projects. And we already discussed condition-based maintenance, but in this case, it can also help you support this replacement. You know better the status of the robot, you know which ones are more suitable to be reused, or that they are still in good condition, and which ones have been heavily used and have suffered already during their lifetime so far and might be better to replace completely. These results from these level 1 and level 2 reports, like Mike was explaining, can be very helpful in this decision process. And finally, I'll go through a little bit more on details on the ABB's remanufacturing offers. But I start with Robot Studio. So the Robot Studio is a simulation software where you can offline simulate the existing robotic cell. That it includes a virtual robot controller that enables the same behavior as the real robot, whether it's now cycle times or errors, motion, etc. And we can convert the old robot programs to match the new robots and analyze the potential compatibility issues. And of course, that helps us be faster and have less risk in such replacement projects. When you do replacements of robots, you can offline simulate everything basically before you go on site to the real installation. And besides this offline programming, what you also can do with Robot Studio is, for example, this simulation with augmented reality. Here you can visualize the robot solutions by overlaying the modeled solution over the real-life production environment, kind of as a hologram. And it's done by visualizing the simulations created in Robot Studio using augmented reality glasses or, for example, an app which is available in the App Store on your smartphone or tablet. Virtual commissioning is similarly supported by Robot Studio, and this can speed up the commissioning process by simulating the exact digital replica of your system or production cell in Robot Studio, so that all the technical issues can be solved in advance before you actually go on site. You can connect PLCs and other external devices to fully virtual system and test the complete logic and the safety of the cell prior to installing the physical line. And finally, of course, the training part is obvious as well. You can train your plant staff utilizing Robot Studio right after the replacement project or later on when you have had new people enter your team and they would need to get training. So Robot Studio is a way also to train them. As success stories in this, we have 2 examples, one not being from automotive area, but from a company producing furniture, where old robot types needed to be replaced with new types, and parallel the customer wanted to increase the output of their line. And in this case, the project was supported by offline simulation, and the old programs were transferred easily and adapted to the new robot types. And thanks to this project, the lifetime of the line could be extended using these new robots. And at the same time, the output could be clearly increased. All project was smoothened by the use of Robot Studio simulation and offline programming. The second case is from automotive car manufacturer, and here similarly customer wanted to increase the production output, and they went about it by replacing 4 controllers, 2 robots, and 8 atomizers. And instead of the full robot replacement, some things were upgraded only. But similarly to the first case here, the offline programming helped to keep the line running as long as possible, and the downtime was kept the shortest possible, so that the existing equipment was kept running to the last minute possible. And of course that helps also in the output when the downtimes are minimal. Good, we come already to the last topic of the day, which is relating to the ABB's remanufacturing and repair offer. And you probably do know that these topics have been gaining more and more interest with our customers lately, as the sustainability considerations have gained more importance, and our customers don't want to simply scrap the existing robots anymore, but find ways to reuse or at least take care of the recycling in a professional manner. Many companies indeed are requesting are offering on that, and we have actually already 2007 started a more professional workshop activities in our global remanufacturing center, which is for Europe in Ostrava in Czech Republic. And Ostrava is serving the European market and has the kind of longest history. And we do have additional centers in Americas and Asia for the customers who are not based in Europe. And until today, we have already done more than 3,000 robot refurbishments in Czech and quite a few ones also in the other regions. And what you see here in the small pictures there is the first one is kind of what remanufactured robots, and in essence we are talking about used robots which have been brought to kind of like a new one conditions, providing the same quality, performance, reliability, durability as the new robot. And what might be more interesting is also that we actually keep a large selection of fully remanufactured used robots on stock. So if you need a very fast replacement or you have some other very fast need, it might be a good idea to check the availability of such remanufactured robots. That is a benefit on that side, and of course the cost is the other side if you compare that to a brand new robot. But ABB of course utilizes the existing ABB specifications on that, as well as original components with quality process and long-term history on these. So besides good quality, we can also offer a warranty on those remanufactured robots. In some cases 12 months, which is the minimum, but in most cases actually 24 months is the standard offer on these remanufactured robots. The second picture actually is showing the same thing, but in this case, as a customer, you bring your robot, we will fix it for you, and you will get that same robot back. Whereas in the other concept, you will perhaps sell your robot back. There's a buyback in the last picture. You will sell your robot, ABB fixes that, puts on stock, and sells it to another customer. So kind of a very circular economy here. Remanufactured arm exchange is an alternative as well, which is fitting to cases where the mechanical arm has been worn out due to external circumstances, for example, heat or humidity or some specific demanding workload. And ABB can replace this mechanical arm with an identical piece and do the swap work directly on your site. Very quick and smooth, as no controller changes are needed. You keep the existing controller, just the ARM gets exchanged. Workshop repairs has a very large portfolio what we are repairing on our sites. We can do repairs on wrists, motors, teach pendants, upper arms, electronic boards, etc. And we also sell exchange spare parts, which are very attractive pricing versus the brand new spare parts. So these are also available on our offering of spare parts. And the buyback I already mentioned there. Here we have also another success story of a case of a automotive tier 1 customer from UK, where this large group had some restructuring activities in UK and decided to close that facility and had a large fleet of IRB 6640 robots, which became redundant because they didn't need them at that site and then wanted to use them somewhere else. So what this company agreed with ABB is that we'll take all of these robots to Ostrava in Czech. We will audit them, do preventive maintenance or maintenance on them, and replace certain parts to kind of bring these robots back into like new conditions. So besides changing oil and batteries, exchanging fans, capacitor bank, balancer bearings, did some resealing of the motors and wrists, and of course cleaning and final painting. In some cases even some repairs. So the customer received back a large number of remanufactured robots with new warranties attached to them, and of course extended lifetime. And of course, besides the commercial benefits for our customer, this was clearly a positive contribution to a sustainable economy as well. Good, so we are coming to the summary part. So we have now gone through a few ways where ABB service can offer value add to your operations. We have first focused on our digital services, and Mike gave you an overview of condition-based maintenance and that its benefits, as well as connected services and their benefit. And in the second part, I presented some ways to extend the lifetime of your equipment by refurbishment of existing robots to make them last longer, or by replacing or upgrading robots, and using Robot Studio to make such projects of replacing or upgrading faster and smoother. So if you take a couple of points from the presentation, we could offer you a couple of suggestions. First, that you would try out ABB's digital and connected services offering and see for yourself how it can improve your operations. That's the more powerful way of being convinced. For connected services, the service is condition-based, condition monitor and diagnostic is for free during warranty. Perfect opportunity to try it out. And if you have a larger fleet which has been operating already a few years, condition-based maintenance could help you optimize the maintenance activities, the cost and production performance, or you could actually gain insights on how to reuse that fleet in maybe another line or some other location. So these would be the use cases, connected services and condition-based maintenance. And the second part is the life cycle management of your older fleets, especially if you have robots which ABB no longer produces. There also ABB doesn't have endless stock of spare parts, and our competence is not anymore so widely spread in every country if the production of these robots has been stopped some years ago already. We call it the life cycles limited or obsolete when the production has stopped and the services are not anymore available to full extent. And in this case, we would strongly recommend you to take a closer look at your plants of replacing, maintaining, how to secure your production. And our ABB colleagues locally would be more than happy to support you in this. We would like to see that your production keeps running, and if you have critical robots which are aging already, it would be better to have a plan ready what you want to do and how to keep them running. In both cases, indeed, please contact your local service, or you can contact me or Mike on that. We're happy to help you. Anyhow, that's it for today. I thank you for your interest. And let's see, did we now get any questions here? I forgot to mention that questions, you can only write it in the room chat. Sorry, I should have mentioned that earlier, that I skipped. And the second part, there is a survey feedback, which is now on the screen. So you have the QR code, you can give your feedback on this session with this code, but we can now take a look if there are any questions.
Yeah, there actually is one from Ivan. So it's about Robot Studio. So I don't know, if you can take this one.
Which one? Wait a second, I have to now scroll
in
through
the chat.
Robot Studio improving maintenance is not really the focus. It's rather connected service and collision-based maintenance, which can improve maintenance activities. Robot Studio is indeed, maybe that came answered what was the focus on that. Robot Studio can help you in the early phase of project when you actually install a completely new system or you do a replacement. Virtual commissioning or training on all of that, but less of a benefit to a maintenance activity, besides, of course, certain training. Was that the question, or did I miss some point on that? Perfect.
Okay. No, I think it's clear. So
good.
Yep. Okay. Very good. Any other questions that we can answer? As I said, also after the session, feel free to reach out to us or your local service representative in case you think of something which you've missed during the session.
Thanks, Ivan, for joining, and hope you get some idea. I have a couple of other names who have recently joined, so if you have any questions, go ahead. Otherwise, you know where to catch us. We're at ABB. So. Cool. All right, I don't want to keep you longer. You probably have, I don't know, looking at your time, it's either lunchtime or afternoon coffee, I assume. So enjoy it.
Thank you very much. Have a nice rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.